Hey everyone, Charmaine here, bringing you another papercraft project. This Saturday we will be making this mini folder. So these are two different folders, but I've decorated them to look like this. So basically they look like the stuff that you can put together and that you can put apart. But separately they are two mini folders with multiple pockets. Let me show you this first one. When you open it up, you have two diagonal tucks. As you can see, they are two triangle tucks, and we have the secretarial pocket at the back. So that is for both sides. Both sides have a diagonal tuck and a secretarial pocket. And on the outside cover, you have a secretarial pocket at the back and a secretarial pocket at the front. So that's the first one, and then the second one is more or less the same in the front and in the back with the secretarial pockets, but when you open it up we have bigger diagonal pockets, as you can see, in the front, and then a diagonal pocket at the top as well where you can just tuck in little things too. So they're very much similar and also different in a way. You can send both to a single person or perhaps keep one for yourself, the other to a friend. Either way, they're super easy to make using only a single sheet and no glue at all. Before we get started, I'd like to invite you to take this time to perhaps click subscribe, turn on notifications, and maybe also like this video. So let's begin with the tutorial. You can use any sheet to do this. I'm using tracing paper or vellum paper, the size of which is 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. So all you have to do is fold it in half, like so. Basically you want to find the center of the sheet and just press down so you have a crease, which is a guide mark. You can use any kind of paper that you will like, but I'm using tracing paper so you can see the things that you put inside. But vellum paper will pop up and fold up, so you have to press it down. So this is me folding it to the center, but then pulling back by about 1 centimeter from the center. So I am checking and double checking, more or less. I'm just eyeballing this, making sure I have a clear gap of about 1 centimeter from the center to the edge of the tracing paper before I fold it down. Then I press it down, folder to create a more prominent crease, and then I just turn the paper to the other side so I can do the exact same thing on here. So fold it into the center and pull back by about 1 centimeter as well. Once the 1 centimeter gap is established, simply fold down where you marked it. To make the folds more prominent, I just pressed it down with the blunt edge of my ruler. And then I just pull back the folded sheet and create a triangle fold on the edge. So you've established a triangle fold, basically press down on it, as you can see on screen. And I'm also using the ruler to make the fold more prominent as well. And I do the exact same thing on the opposite flap, and folding a triangle and pressing it down as well using the blunt edge of the ruler. And we now have two triangle folds, and we fold them back in. This time the part with the triangle folds, we fold them outward, so you can already see the diagonal pockets forming. So just fold it down and press it down so that the triangle folds will be more established. Again, I'm using the blunt edge of the ruler to make the folds more prominent or more clear. You can also just use your fingers or your nails to fold down the edges if you don't have any blunt tool around. But as you can see, I've just got my nails done for the first time in 3 months, so I think this will do. The next step would be taking in the other edge and folding it outwards and tuck them into the diagonal pockets. It might require a little nudge, a little push, a little skew until you just put the whole thing through to the diagonal tucks and then just fold it down. Actually, this is done. After you press it down further and make the folds more prominent, you just fold it in half, and that's basically our first pocket done. So I'm just going to run the ruler again into the spine of this folder, just so we have a clearer mark as to where this whole thing folds, and we are done. Our first configuration for the mini pocket folders. So as you can see, we have a total of 4 pockets on the inside and 2 single pockets on the outside. So this is our first folder done. Now we move on to the second sheet. Again, we are using the same sized sheet, 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Again, similar to the first one, we fold the whole sheet in half and make a fold mark. So as you can see on screen, I'm pressing down the center fold again with a ruler, and it's basically the same as the first one. We open it up and fold the edge to the center and pull back by 1 centimeter, and then just press it down again. So they are 2 very similar folders, and their only difference is the pocket styles. Then you repeat the same thing for the other side as well. Fold it to the center, pull back by 1 centimeter, and press down again. And when we're done pressing down, again we will have the 2 folds pressing inwards. Then we do the same thing, creating a triangle on the edge by pulling in the corner as shown on screen and pressing it down. So as you notice, it is the exact same method as the first folder, except this time we fold all 4 corners of the sheet so that we will have 4 pockets which are all diagonal in shape. Then now I am folding the last one on screen, and then once I've pressed down all 4 corners, I just fold the flaps back in, and then I just fold the pockets outward as well. So it's just a very similar method to the first one, and I'm using the first folder as a guide so I get a measurement or a size similar to the first one as well. Same as the first one, I am tucking the flaps onto itself. So I'm just choosing which edge I will tuck into the other, and then I just tuck it in the same way as the other one, and as you can see on screen, as per usual, I just nudge it into place and just give it a little push until I get my final fold. Then I adjust it every now and then, give it a little pull and a little push, just so they have the same height as the first folder that we made. I personally like creating these papercraft tutorials and making different paper fold techniques to the same size so that, I don't know, the uniformity is just really aesthetic. Now that I finally have a height that is similar to the first one, I just make the fold marks more prominent again by pressing down on them, and there you go. As you can see, I now have another folder, and I press down on the spine just so the folds are clearer. And ta-da! Here is my second folder. Wasn't that super easy? So they're so similar, but they're also different in their own special way. You can decorate your envelopes any way you want, but actually I had this fun idea of putting the two envelopes side by side. I clipped them together using a bulldog clip, as you can see on the screen, and I decided to put this girl sticker. They're two friends holding hands, and I thought it would be fun to have it like a pull apart or a two-part folder thing, as you've seen at the start of this video. To do that, I made sure that I placed the girl stickers right in the middle, just so they have a nice clean cut between them and I won't cut through any face or any major facial feature on the sticker. So I continued decorating it in the premise that when you put them together, they will look like one scenery or one layout. I just added more details, some of the stickers, and more stamps and washi tapes, just so I have a fun and total look, just making sure that both side is balanced with the different elements that I add. Once you're satisfied with how you have designed it, basically all you have to do is just cut off the excess, and then I folded the whole thing in half and I just ran my blade through the center, as you can see on screen, and there you have it, a two-part folder. Then when I pulled it apart, I just realized that this other folder needed more decorating, as it seemed blank when it's just on its own, so I added more details to it. So this is a good thing to do by pulling them apart, making sure that each folder will stand on its own without the other one, but then when you put them together, they will still be aesthetically pleasing or matching with the other one. So you can do the same thing with your folder, or otherwise you can also decorate it any way you would like. Then of course it's the fun part where you get to stuff the different pockets with a multitude of paper goods. I guess this is one benefit of using tracing paper or translucent paper or vellum paper in making these folders. It is because you can actually see the stuff that you put inside the pockets. So there's not much decorating on the outside needed, because the layering of items underneath the vellum, it's already the design itself. And when it's fully stuffed, you're finally done. Now here is the final product. So they look good together and they also look good separately. Anyway guys, thank you so much for making it through till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this papercraft tutorial that I created. And when you do get the chance to create one of your own, I suggest you tag me on Instagram. That's Chassis, and I'd love to see your work. I actually have a gallery there. I put all the works of people who create their own versions of the tutorials that I share here on YouTube. I would love to see you be a part of that gallery as well. Again, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate your presence. I hope to see you again in the next video. Stay safe and keep well. I'll see you next time. Bye for now, and I wish you a wonderful week ahead.